I am here in Dallas, Texas today, and I am actually about to sew my own wardrobe bag, which I have broken. The things you got to know how to do for yourself. But I just wanted to come on today because I was thinking about other things I could share about my experience on tour and what it's like and where I am right now, and just kind of give other performers and other singers some insight into what this looks like on a daily basis. And so I started this live with the title "Tour Isn't for the Faint of Heart," and it isn't, man. I woke up on the tour bus this morning, and once again, the temperature has changed about 10 degrees. Everywhere we go, it's like different temperature. We actually have a canceled show tomorrow because of a horrible storm coming through. So we are not going to make it to Kansas City, which is sad, but we're getting rerouted. There's so many things that are just being dealt with on the daily. And the thing is, when you're on a tour bus and you're playing in a different city every day, you have to be the type of person who's able to adjust as you go because things change every day. The weather changes, the conditions change, the stage changes, right? So every uh every time we go to sound check or whatever, you're kind of checking out this new situation you're in because the room changes and the stage changes, the sound changes, your ears change. Um, just an example of my day yesterday. I have in-ears that I've worn for years and years. If you don't know what an I can't speak, in-ear is, it's how we hear each other. We have our own mix of the band in our own ears. I actually grew up in the theater, so I like the sound of the room, but our touring show works with in-ears, and so I wear them. Last night my in-ears stopped working, and so I had to go to my backup pair, which are much less expensive ears. So there was a whole kind of wrench thrown into my show because my hearing was different, right? How I was going to hear the band was a little different. So that's part of the job anyway, right? Being on a tour. But then there's the actual tour bus, and there's living on a bus and showering in venues and, you know, trying not to get sick when you've got 9 people living in very close quarters. If you don't know anything about a tour bus, in the United States, they're generally set up in 3 sections. There's a front lounge and a back lounge, and then all the bunks are in the middle. There's a little bathroom, no shower or anything like that, but a normal restroom, and then there's a little kitchen. And the kitchen has a microwave and a sink, but we live off of plastic water bottles and bottles like that because you can't drink any of the water on the tour bus because it's treated for cold weather. Um, so you're basically functioning with a fridge and a microwave, and that's basically it. You know what I mean? And you're eating out a lot, and so it's kind of this whole world of adjustment. And I think some people have this impression like, oh, it's so rock and roll, it's so cool, and it is in some ways, but also it's hard because you're living like a little gypsy person, you know? So every day I come into this venue and I just spread out my shit. So my backpack, my makeup bag, my bathroom bag, my suitcase is over here. Every day I come in, I get all of my wardrobe things out and ready to go. I get all of my boots lined up and ready to go. We travel with a wardrobe case. So our wardrobe case is right here. All of our things are in the space every day, in the drawers every day. And here is the team on stage getting ready, our whole light show. Here is our here is the theater. So we're in a theater called the Majestic Theater here in Dallas today. So this is what it looks like every day. This whole light show gets brought in every day. Our sound team gets all set up. It's a lot. It's a lot going on. So their day starts very early, and I stay in bed till about 10:30. That's when we come into the venue. Then I come into the venue, I get everybody's wardrobe set up and organized. We figure out the dressing room situation. But basically, every day, and I have not warmed up my voice at all today yet, but every day is lugging our stuff into a new place, figuring out where towels are, doing our laundry throughout the week. Then we get one night every week to be in a hotel for this show. So we have 6 shows a week, and then we're in a hotel one night a week. So, you know, it's not glamorous at all. And it's fun and it's kind of wild. And that's what I mean, though, when I say it's not for the faint of heart. I think it reminds me of the book, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. And I love talking about this book to students. But, it's this idea that a lot of people will say the sentence, I want to be a rock star. Do you? Do you want to live like this? This is what it looks like, um, some people really would struggle in this situation. And I've always kind of considered myself a road dog. I'm a bit of a tomboy. I can hang with all the boys and be grungy and all that stuff too. And I like a nice hotel. I like both. But it's that thing of like, do you actually want to work under these circumstances, live on a tour bus for 2 months of your life, leave home? I leave my doggie, I leave my husband, I leave my cozy apartment and my bed to sleep on a shaking bus at night. But I'm good with it. I enjoy my job. I have figured out in my career the ways that I like to work, the kinds of situations I like to work in, and I like travel. So I like traveling. I like being on the go. I like being in a new city every day. I like looking outside and seeing that it's raining and going, okay, I'm gonna have a cozy day in my dressing room and drinking my coffee and drinking my kombucha and watching Downton Abbey and reading my book and doing my journal. I like this life, but I've had to figure that out. You know what I mean? And I think for a lot of people out there that want to be performers, that want to work professionally, it's about figuring out what that really means to you. If you're not a travel person, most of the jobs I do require travel. So I'm also getting into the guest entertainment world with cruises. I have my own solo show. That's going to require me to get on a plane, get on a ship, go out into the water, whatever, for a week, come back, get on another plane. Get the travel is hard. That's actually the hardest part of our job. Because being a singer, we carry our instrument around with us. So trying not to get sick, all those things. But I like this. I like this part of my job. I enjoy the adventure, man. I've figured out how to have a career because I've figured out where I'm really useful and where my talent is featured well, but also what I'm willing to do to go do the thing I love. I know other singers that work more specifically in one city and they have gigs all over town, and that's how they do it. It's you got to figure out what works for you, where your skills are valuable, and whether the conditions of that. I think a lot of people, I want to be an actor, and then they get to their trailer and they're sitting there for 8 hours and they're like, is this being an actor is like? Those are parts of the conditions of the job. It's part of the job. So do you actually give a fuck about that process and what it looks like? That's what that book is about. So if you want to go read a great book, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, figure out what you give a fuck about. I think that's great advice. It's not for everyone, right? But I do like this life, man. I do like this adventure. I like what my job entails as much as it's hard and it's a challenge, but that's part of the thing I like about it. So, tour life ain't for the faint of heart. It is not easy living this way. We have our hard days. Um, knock on wood. Oh God, I really do need to. Paper's wood, right? Oh, we get sick, we deal with hard stuff out here. Um, but we also enjoy the adventure. And I think anybody who chooses to go live on a tour bus for months out of their life, they enjoy the adventure, and if they don't, they stop doing it, because it's not easy. So it's awesome. It's rock and roll. It's hard. It's tiring. You get physically exhausted. My body hurts today. I'm going to do some stretching. I've got my thing. I had my heat pad on all night. Like, man, my body gets beat up. Part of 6 shows a week, though. It's part of the job, right? So, I think that's kinda what I wanted to just say today is, like, we've all gotta figure out the thing that really makes us tick and makes life exciting and makes the hard part easy because we enjoy the adventure, whatever that might look like to you, whether it's going into the studio, whether it's recording music, playing in a live band. What's the thing that makes you tick? I want to be on a stage. I want to be singing with a live band in front of an audience. I want to be traveling. I want to be engaging and connecting. This is my dream. This is what I always wanted. And the tour bus is part of it for this job. And I realize some people are going to be much more comfortable, being in a Broadway show and being in New York and being able to go home to their apartment every night. It looks different for each of us, the different kinds of jobs we might take. So I encourage everyone out there, figure that out for yourself and really strive to keep exploring all the different things you might be able to do because you might get an opportunity to try something and go, "Oh, this is awesome. I love this." And that's how I felt the first time I got on a tour bus. So, anyway, that is it. Hello from Dallas. It is raining. I'm going to go back to Downtown Abbey now. Downtown Abbey. I'm going to finish my coffee. I'm going to wake up. I'm like so not awake yet, but start kind of getting my body moving a little. And I hope y'all are doing great out there. Thanks for hanging with me.